Hey guys, Big D here. Welcome back to Horoscope, where I review and hopefully soon rank my favorite horror movies. Today, we are going to be looking at one of my all time favorites. We are looking at Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Now, this movie was released in 1980 and was the only movie written and directed by the Kyoto brothers. Now, those brothers have done a lot of really iconic stuff. They've done, animatronics, they've done some claymation, they've done some stop motion animations on some really classic films like Pee Wee's Big Adventure, Critters, a lot of movies from the 80s. And this was their very first movie that they wrote and directed. No surprise, since this actually turned out to be a cult classic. So, pretty much the movie's premise is pretty much exactly what you want it to be. A band of evil aliens resembling clowns come down upon a small town and just start harvesting people for food. And a small group of citizens just try to stop them. That's pretty much it. Now, to be honest, I really don't think I have any big issues with this movie. Maybe a couple of minor ones, but they really don't detract from the movie at all. I really love the creepy clowns. They're super effective. I love the acting for the most part. The three main characters are really likable, they're relatable, and the actors do an awesome job. The movie is about 86 minutes, so it moves at a really brisk pace. There are a couple of visuals that might not age well, but and there are a few really memorable kills. This one biker guy, he gets his head punched off by one of the clowns, and one of the police officers, he winds up being turned into a human ventriloquist dummy. It's almost terrifying when you actually see it. If you were a kid watching this, it would probably give you nightmares. I think the only issues I have is, one, in this small town that's about the size of my hometown here, there are only 2 cops. You'd think this town would have at least 4 or 5 cops, but it only has 2 cops. That's just that little detail just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. And the only other issue I had with this movie was one of the officers, his name was Officer Mooney. He is super unlikable, but he gets a really memorable death, so that kind of makes up for it. Overall, I give this 4.8 skulls out of 5. It is a cult classic, and I highly recommend it. Join me next time when we take a look at a good movie, Pie Wagon. But until then, this has been Big D over at Horoscope. Stay safe.